In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, B-Up's on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in this sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, B-Wop tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, family. How y'all doing this early morning? It's the early morning edition of Sports Talk with B. Watts, and I'm your host, Bernard Watts. Only thing that I ask that you do, pick up that. Just said pick up the telephone. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and also if you like to continue to support the broadcast through Cash App, through Super Chat, and also just join the membership. Anything that you do will be highly, highly appreciated. All right. Hey, once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and rocking with me on this Monday morning. I know I usually don't do this, but hey, I liked it the last time, so I said, hey, let me do it again. All right. I want to say good morning to Miss Debbie Garcia. Appreciate you this morning. Calling Me World. Appreciate you. Miss Carolyn Shepherd. I appreciate you. Miss Kimberly Nash Williams is in this morning. I appreciate her. X in the cut. What's going on? Diddy, what's up? You all right? Our Jizzle, what's going on, my brother? Appreciate y'all for rocking with me this morning. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who tuned in last night. We had a good time last night with Uncle Steve and JR Boxing talking about The Last Dance with Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh, and Travis Hunter at CU along with Coach Prime. If you haven't seen that video, go over there and check it out. Tell him it was a good show. They did a good job, and I appreciate them. Hey, today I want to talk about, I ran into two videos of Ryan Clark talking about the draft status and Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Interesting. He said some interesting things in the second video that I want to share with you this morning. And after I listened to it, I said, huh? Then I double back and I listened to it again. It took me 5 times to listen to the second video that I'm going to show you. And he made some sense in that. He really did. It's kind of some things that I've been saying along the way too. Kind of agree with him now. He was sharing his opinion about Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime. Like I kept telling y'all, the NFL want to know, can Shedeur Sanders operate without being up under the shadow of Coach Prime? Remember, the truth is that Coach Prime is the only head coach that Shedeur had ever had playing football in college at Jackson State, at Colorado. And now he's to the NFL. And you notice, you just notice If you just know Shedeur haven't been back home, I'm sure he talked to him, but I'm sure Coach Prime has coached him along the way and told him what's really, really going on. Yeah, like I said, and as many of you have said, the NFL punished Shedeur because of the shadow of Coach Prime. Miss Kimberly already said I don't buy that narrative at all. It is what it is. That's what happened. That's what exactly what happened. If you just think about this thing, the NFL punished Shedeur because the shadow of Coach Prime. They don't want to deal with both of them at the same time. That's all. That's what it came down to. That's all what it came down. I know it's the word on the street. I seen a show by my G. Bush talking about a collusion at a lawsuit, something about a collusion that I saw that they was talking about. I got to check it out more. I haven't read too much about it, and I seen it on Yahoo. They reported on it too. The NFL collusion ruling cast lights on infection. Yeah, so I got to read up on that because I don't know too much about what's going on, and I got to listen at G. Bush or what he talking about too. So yeah, that's interest. That's gonna be interesting too to see how that turn out. But like I was saying, Ryan Clark, he's an analyst on ESPN. He's the anchor man on the Pivot podcast with Fred Taylor and Shannon Crowder. They have an excellent podcast. If you haven't checked them out or haven't listened to them, check out the Pivot. They have a good podcast, one of the best sports podcasts out there that I listen to often. And also, uh, he's a former NFL player who played up under Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So these are the words that he said. I'm finna get into that video. I'm gonna show you two videos, right? He said it's not just about him being Deion Sanders' son. It's about the excuse me, the what it is, Bravo. Yeah, he carries. It's about the fact that he looks a certain way. It is about the fact that the color of his skin sometimes at the position can can be questionable. Wow. Well, he went hard on that. So that's what Ryan Clark is saying about that NFL draft when it came to Shedeur. And at this time, I'm gonna play this video. I'm just gonna see where y'all at and see what y'all think about what Ryan Clark had to say. Here's the first one right here.
But we all know that they plant these certain reports or they say these certain things, and you do hear the word arrogant. Why is he arrogant? Because he won't walk into the meeting and bend the knee, or he won't sit in the meeting and question himself or his abilities or his knowledge and experience in the game. I don't believe that that's arrogance. I want a quarterback that's self-assured. I want a quarterback that could cut the film on, and when you ask him a question about why did you make this mistake or why did you make this throw or why was this the right read, I want him to be able to regurgitate that to me like he's in the play at the moment, the same way a coach or an offense coordinator would, because that's what he's going to have to do. And I've had conversations with Shedeur Sanders, and he can do that. We all know that it's not just about him being Deion Sanders' son. It's about the bravado he carries. It's about the fact that he looks a certain way. It is about the fact that the color of his skin sometimes at that position can be questioned. And I believe Shedeur Sanders is going to have to deal with that until he gets on the field. Now,
Boy, he throws some heads. Boy, I'll tell you, Ryan Clark throws some heavy haymakers out there. And I gotta agree with him once he said that. He said even though they kind of punished him for his father and the color of his skin, but he want a quarterback that can walk that walk and talk that talk. That's what he's saying. That just like Coach Ryan did. And I got real Ryan on that, y'all. I'm sorry. That it is what it is. It ain't no knock on Shedeur. It ain't no knock on Coach Prime. It is what it is. They punish Shedeur because of Coach Prime. It is what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with football. It ain't got nothing to do with his skill set. It ain't got nothing to know. It ain't got nothing to do by the terminology. He done grew up all around that. Pat Sherman taught him everything he needed to know in that last year about the NFL and play calling. It is what it is, family. It is what it is. And Ryan Clark is right on. He been in the league. Ryan Clark was a undrafted free agent and became the starter safety up under Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they know the game. One thing I can say is certain players that I listen to. A lot of people don't like Cam Newton because the way he is, but Cam Newton know the game. He was an African American quarterback, and he know how the rules go for a quarterback. You might not like his takes. You might say he hate. Cam Newton ain't got no reason to hate on anybody. Cam Newton was a Heisman Trophy winner quarterback in the NFL. Family. A Heisman Trophy winning quarterback for Auburn. And he went to the Super Bowl as an African American quarterback. So all that talking about he hating on Shedeur, I don't believe that. He ain't hating on Shedeur. And matter of fact, he's a Georgia boy. He went to the University of Auburn and started and went out there and put that work in. Like I say, he's my second best player ever played the game. So I like it. Something that he say is kind of off the wall, but everything he say, not about that quarterback position. You can't question a person that played the game. He played at a high level at that quarterback position, and he know the ins and outs to be a quarterback in the NFL, especially as an African American player. So I try to listen to them guys and see where they coming from, and everybody thoughts ain't the same. X in the cut said they punished 12 because they for sure couldn't do anything with Prime when he played because he called his own shot. That's exactly that's what they want to deal with. X and cut. You get it. But everybody got their opinion. I respect everybody's opinion. But that's exactly what it was. And at times, Shedeur did try to carry himself as I won't say a defensive back, just like Coach Prime was, but they played two different positions. But Shedeur is a quarterback, and he ain't got but 32 teams. Do they want to deal with it or do they not? But it started off a lie. It still started off a lie. The New York Giants started off with a lie during that process, and everybody else that's grabbed to it and ran with it. But they didn't want to deal with Coach Prime either. But it's gonna work out for good. It's gonna work out for his good. Miss Cameron Nash Williams said they are doing everything they can to not admit that they target Shedeur. They have nothing to base their narrative on. They need to stop protecting the NFL for their unethical practice. I agree. They target him. And because of Coach Prime, though, they target him. I give you that one. What's going on, Tim? What's going on? Miss Calvin said the Pat McAfee show said he would sue the NFL. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting. Just said Arch Manning has only been with one coach at Texas, so I don't buy that narrative. He had several offensive coordinators. Okay. Like I say, I kind of, yeah, it is what it is. Good morning, sis. How you doing? What's up, Coach G? You all right? Yeah. So you have to look at both sides of it. Blackface said, Pro Football Talk just did an EP on collusion on the black quarterbacks, Lamar, Kyle, Russell, Shedeur. Check it out. Okay, I will. Like I say, I'm sure some of it went on. I don't know about that collusion. I just don't believe in that right now. It could happen. Collusion could have happened. But me personally, I just don't believe in that. I'm not saying it can't happen. 32 owners can't get on the phone, or a general manager can't get on the phone and have the same kind of conversation. I'm not saying they can't, but I just don't believe that. Especially if you know your team need a quarterback. You know your team losing, been losing, and losing. You don't want the best quarterback in the draft. It's Shedeur. That's just hard for me to believe. It's called a club, Miss Crawford. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that too. It's just hard for me to believe that right now until I see more evidence, or do I really understand what was in the lawsuit until I read up on it. Then I'll see about that. Then I'll make my decision. But it is what it is. He said he got paperwork. Okay. All right. I had to check it out. It could be. You never know, man. You just never know. It's just funny. Just funny how 32 teams, especially the 8 teams or the 7 teams that needed a quarterback, passed on Shedeur for 5 rounds. 5 rounds. That's amazing. It's amazing. Good morning, beautiful people. Happy hump day, speculation day, B Watts and all. All right. Well, like I say, it is what it is. So we'll see. But I'm gonna share you this video right here. Also, Ryan Clark. Check this out. Now, this one right here is when he was on the pivot.
Shedeur Sanders is going to be leading dudes that were like you in the league, that were like you, that were like me. At the time, you had kids and were married. I had kids and was married. Chan, you was a grown man that said, I can go in the streets every night and I can come in here and work. If I'm thinking that you're not running your life or you're not running your career, don't come sit in front of my locker because I control this.
Yeah.
Right? I control this. I can't have you and your daddy being our leader. I can't have you and your daddy being our quarterback. And I believe the way that Deion has raised Shedeur is ready to do that. The professionalism, the maturity level, the understanding of the noise always being in his ear, Deion dealt with that his whole life. And he's been prepping this young man to deal with it. It's about to be louder than ever, though. You know how many people happy right now, dog? You know how many people are sitting at their house being like, I told you so. I told you he wasn't that good. I told you he was this. What he got to do, man, internalize that and don't fight it with words. Don't fight it with your attitude. Man, go out there and make plays. And when you do that, don't even look at them and say, I proved you wrong. Do that junk and go hug your pops. Yeah. Do that junk and go dap off the people that been supporting you. Because they've been locked up with you all the way. All the people that was in that room. If they ain't the real ones.
Ryan Clark putting that thing down, y'all. Like I said, I got to agree with him. I agree with him. I had to listen to it about 4 to 5 times. I got to ride with him. Shedeur is in the locker room with some grown men. They want to know, can he stand on his own? Like I've been telling y'all, they want to know, can you stand on your own? Can you guide this locker room? Can you guide this football team without Coach Prime? He's saying it. They played the game. All 3 of them on the pivot played the game at a high level. They want to know that. Can he do that? And they finna show up. We know he can do it on the field. Can he do it in the locker room? Can Shedeur do it in the locker room at 23 years old? At 23 years old. Can he, so far, from what I've been seeing from the video that they don't release, he got his teammates behind him. Just like Ryan Clark said. Coach Prime has prepared Shedeur. Other words, it's time for Coach Prime to let Shedeur go and be that man that he raised and be that quarterback. And Coach Prime got to sit back without interference and let him do his thing. That's why I'm trying to tell you. And Shedeur know that. Coach Prime know that. He know that. A lot of y'all females don't want to accept that, but they know that. They don't talk about that, I guarantee. That's why you ain't seen him in Texas. That's why on this break, he don't went to the beach. He don't went out of the country. That's why, see, the females, they y'all kind of emotional about this thing, but the males are deeper in this thing. You can try to blame it on collusion all you want, but I ain't there yet. It's about Coach Prime. It is. It's about Coach Prime holding on. Many times in well-off videos, you don't heard Shedeur say, yeah, Dad, you got to let go. You got to let go. If I'm lying, kill me. Somebody stop me right now. So if I'm lying, in many videos, you gotta let go. And Coach Prime, during that draft, he was saying, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. And he know what was going on. They punished Shedeur because of Coach Prime. They punish of Coach Prime. Ain't because no talent. He is not no 5th round draft pick quarterback. He just not. He's not. He just not. Let me get in this chat and see what y'all guys say before I see what Miss Kimberly National said. Let's see. Miss Crawford said, this is the first time in history this has happened to a first round pick. Yeah, you're right. It is. It is. I ain't seen nothing like it. Like I said, it's reason for it. Until somebody come out and say what the reason was, we don't know. You're gonna come around and be what? They don't care about winning. They want cheap labor. Now I agree with that part. Why were they meeting with Shedeur so much if he was a 5th round draft pick? Who does that? Once again, I agree with you. They know Shedeur is not a 5th round draft pick. Just like Ryan Clark said, Miss Kimberly Nash Williams, you're gonna come around. You're gonna come around, Miss Kimberly Nash. They ain't got nothing collusion. It's about Coach Prime. Coach Prime knew it. He don't hung around them before. G. Bush did a good video on the topic. They definitely colluded against Shedeur. Okay. I gotta check that video out. I haven't seen it, family. Miss Carolyn Shepard says when Coach Prime went on national TV and said he going to have a say in where his sons are going, the NFL did not like. They did. They did. I saw that same video the other night. I said, whoa, that was my first time seeing the video. Yeah. When he said that, they didn't like that. You know, if we heard it, the NFL owners, general managers, and head coaches, they heard it too. Like I said, these females, they too emotional about this thing. And I'm not trying to tell you. It is what it is. I guarantee Grown already learned that week playbook. Yeah. I hope he has. That's gonna be the key too. Yes, he can. Yeah. X in the cut. I want those New York Giants tape to be leaked so bad so they can be exposed, even though we all know the real. Yeah. They ain't leaked them videos yet. They put everybody else's videos on their website. Everybody but Shedeur. They didn't put his interview. Like I said, they lied on Shedeur. They just lied on him, man. They lied on him because they didn't want to deal with Coach Prime. That's all what it was. They didn't want to deal with Coach Prime. And you got to remember, for a whole year last year, the New York Giants staff was up there at Boulder, Colorado, talking to Coach Prime, the general manager, the scouting team. They stayed up there. Every time you seen Well Off, you see a New York Giant member up there at that facility, looking at Travis and looking at Shedeur. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And we're gonna see. I think Shedeur gonna get the last laugh on this. Call Me World say the Browns were always going to draft Shedeur. They just tried to dull his shine and drop his price tag, taking him in the 5th round. I saw the conclusion coming before the draft. Hey, now that do make sense now. I believe they wanted him they could have called around and said, hey, we know y'all not going to take Shedeur. We going to take him, but we ain't going to take him in that 2nd pick. We'll take him in the 5th round where we can get him cheaper because I don't spend too much money on Deshaun Watson and I need a break. Can y'all help me out? Now, something like that could have happened. Coach G said collusion. They said there is a document that were passed around to all 32 teams on passing on Shedeur Sanders. Like Grandmama said, what's done in the dark will come to light. Coach G. Appreciate that statement, big dog. Appreciate that statement. Let's see. Kimberly Nash Williams said, no matter what they do, they can't contain his talent. I just pray they don't break his spirit. Yeah, I agree. They ain't gonna break his spirit. Nah, they ain't gonna break his spirit. Yeah, he ready for this. Him and Coach Prime don't win over. I'm sure they talk every day. They talk about what's going on. tell him everything that he need to know, everything that he need to do going forward, and be prepared for this. If this happen, if this happen, and this happen, he gonna be prepared. He mentally tough. You can tell that. You can tell that when he playing quarterback. The way he was playing quarterback, he never called out his offensive line when we know his offensive line for 2 years at Colorado wasn't up to par, but he still went out there and fight. He still went out there and threw that ball. He still went out there, gathered his team together in that huddle and called that play to Leah for another play. So he tough. He tough mentally. He's that. That's one thing I ain't gonna worry about. I know he's that. It's both be watched. It could be true, Miss Debbie, Miss Garcia. I'm not gonna deny it. It could be true. Miss Crawford said that's why it was a collusion because of Coach Prime. Okay. Yeah, it could be. You could probably be right. Like Miss Debbie, you and Miss Crawford, you and Miss Debbie, y'all could be right. Y'all could be right. You right, be watched. Appreciate it, Miss Shepard. At least one person up in here agree with. They came together because they wanted to teach Coach Prime and Shedeur. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, it was a lot of things that that was said that shouldn't have been said, and it was said on TV, podcast, where everybody can go back and listen to it. You know, and I'm sure if you had to do it over again, you just let it be quiet and just let the process take care of itself. Yeah. But hey, that draft is over. We here now. We here. We here now. Shedeur is in the lead, and it's on him to he out there in Cleveland, and it's up to him now to go out there and put that work in. Put that work in, and when he prevails and name the starting quarterback, he can, like Ryan Clark said, he can call his pop, Coach Prime, and say, "Hey man, thank you, appreciate you. You taught me well. I carry out every assignment that you told me to carry out, and I perfected it, and I'm here now, and I'm here." And he gonna prove that. He gonna prove that in training camp starting July the 18th in Cleveland. Everything that Coach Prime done taught him, he gonna prevail. The NFL can't hold him back. Cleveland can't hold him back. Can't none of them teams hold Shedeur back, because he in a room, in a quarterback room, is dysfunctional. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel. I don't care what Kevin Stefanski want, nor that general manager. I don't care if they did go out there and get Kenny Pickett. He's not gonna last. They can start him all they want. He ain't gonna last. He's just not. He ain't built for this. He done tried on 2 teams already. Kenny Pickett been with Philadelphia and he been with Pittsburgh and failed on both times. Both times. He done failed twice. What make they think he gonna pass on the third team? He ain't built for the NFL. And when it comes to Dylan Gabriel, he's a backup quarterback. That's all. And they finna find out. Zach Jackson went out there and looked at the camp, observed the quarterback, and came back and told us. I don't play that video several times. He don't look like it. Zach said he don't even look like a quarterback. It's day and night when they ask him this.
Did one of the two look better to you in what they were asked to do than the other?
In just throwing the ball, it's not close. Shedeur Sanders.
It's not close
not
either.
Close, no.
Wow, that's okay. Now that's news.
That's news. But let me couch that by saying this is rookie mini camp.
Sure.
No pads, no full speed competition. Nobody coming to knock your head off.
It's telling. They're side by side, and they're not asked to do much, but they're both asked to do the same thing. And that one of them looked discernibly better than the other. I think that I didn't know that we would get that.
Like I said, he just ain't no quarterback. Shedeur is in a good position. He got some hurdles he gonna have to go through. He shouldn't, but he got some hurdles and some situation that he gonna have to go through to be QB1. Yeah, he got to fight against all odds. He got to fight Joe Flacco. He got to fight Kenny Pickett. He got to fight Dylan Gabriel. Even though some of y'all said 2 days ago in the chat, Mr. E. Willer, or somebody said it, that Shedeur is battling himself for QB1. And I agree. If it's up to me. But when you look at the what Cleveland want to do, it's hard to tell. I don't know what Cleveland want to do. I don't know their strategy. I don't know what's important to them. It seems like the main thing that important to Cleveland is not what's important to me or the fans. What's important to Cleveland look like they got to prove they are right. You see what I'm saying? It seemed like that the general manager and the head coach got to prove to themselves that they was right by drafting Dylan Gabriel ahead of Shedeur. And they wrong. If you ask the assistant coaches and the coordinators, I guarantee you they'll tell you, boy, y'all got this thing wrong. It should do it. The players already saying, family. His teammates already saying, man, that dude look different out here. Shedeur Sanders look different out here. He just looked different. And they saying it. But the head coaches and the general managers got to prove to themselves and their owner that they got it right. Because if they ain't got it right, they're going to lose their job. You tell me, but I'll take that back. They saved the general manager money because Shedeur was a first-round draft pick quarterback. He could have got the same kind of money that Travis got. But since he didn't, in the 5th round, he got the small contract, $1 million a year for 4 years, making $4 million. So they got him on a bargain. Cheap labor. So the general manager and the head coach, that part right there gonna go to them. They're gonna get the credit for that by saving them the money. But for as talent-wise, they miss. That's why you keep hearing things about Philadelphia tried to move up to get them, but Cleveland heard that. They heard that. So Cleveland acted fast and moved up and got Shedeur from Philadelphia. That is kind of strange, ain't it? It's just some weird stuff this thing just weird, man. Like I say, it's just too many lies been told. That's all. Too many lies been told, and they're gonna keep telling them. They're gonna keep telling them, family, to cover up their trail. They are going to keep telling those lies to cover up another lie. Because no way a 5th round draft pick can be throwing a football and showing out in OTAs and minicamp like Shedeur has been doing. It just you just don't see that, family. You just don't see that. And to have him 4th on the depth chart, that tells you enough right there. To have Shedeur on a depth chart at number 4 at quarterback behind Joe Flacco, behind Kenny Pickett, behind Dylan Gabriel, and the way he been throwing that football ever since rookie minicamp. That's astonishing. That I don't know why they keep trying to push that down my throat. And they can push it down other people's throat, but not mine. When I can see, when I don't follow Shedeur for the last 4 years, I know what he can do at that quarterback position. And every time you turn around, when he do something good, somebody got to push another lie out there to knock him down. Why? He's a part of your team. He's a part of your team, Tony Grossman. He's a part of your team, Mary Kay. Shedeur is a part of your team. You should want to report the good things about Shedeur. You should want that. Not, he's just a 5th round draft pick. What that got to do with it now? You're a part of the team. That's all I'm trying to say. Like I say, man, the devil is a lie. That's all I can say. I want to say something else, but your race should not matter if he helping your team. They rooted for Deshaun Watson. What he went out there and did. He took your money and he didn't produce. Shedeur haven't even taken your money. He ain't getting no money. And he out there producing. He letting you know he want to be the quarterback. He's showing you he's that guy. He's showing you he's the guy. He working before camp. He working before practice. He working during practice, and he working after practice. He's showing you that. He bringing attention to your team. I'm sure the jersey sales is out of, man, it's skyrocketing. The traction that your team is getting during the offseason. Can you imagine if he the starting quarterback, what kind of attention y'all gonna get? Man, NBC, ESPN gonna be running to them to put that game on TV. To put them on national TV. They probably will boot the Dallas Cowboys off just to put Shedeur on the team, on TV. He got that star power. Shedeur, the quarterback of Cleveland, got that star power. Better than Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel. He got the star power, fam. They gonna be on all major networks, just like Colorado. Just like Colorado. He did the same thing for Colorado. The dude got that star power. He got the star power. That's what comes with it. That last name. That last name, that's what people want to see. He's Deion Sanders' son. He's Deion Sanders' son. And the people want to report on him. The people want to see. When they open that training camp up for the public, man, they're going to have to call extra security. Y'all think of family. When they open up that camp for the public can come, they're going to have to get extra security. You already see how the kids out there with him acting. You already seen how they act.
Shedeur Sanders, quarterback here at Cleveland. My favorite memory is the home run Risco.
What's crazy about it? He got that star power. Look at the teammates behind him. That camera love him. He ain't got Bucket nowhere. Bucket ain't nowhere near. But when Bucket hit that camp, in July, it's gonna be off the chain. They sure enough ain't gonna stand. They just stand. Yeah. When Bucket hit up there in July, they really ain't gonna be able to hold. They ain't gonna be able to hold you, do y'all. I'm trying to tell you. When Bucket get up there and put his content out, oh man, Mary Kay don't might as well gone in retirement. It's over for them. He gonna drown them out. Man, only people that gonna go over there and listen to them is the ones that against you do. And once Bucket put it out, half of them gonna come back on over to Shedeur side. You watch how I see it. Because the videos that Bucket gonna put out ain't gonna match what Tony G is saying. The videos that Bucket put out is not gonna match up with the language that Mary Kay is talking about. It just ain't gonna match up. What Bucket put out of Shedeur, it gonna look way better than Kenny Pickett performance, Joe Flacco performance, and Dylan Gabriel performance. And when the public see it, they gonna put that pressure on that general manager. They gonna put that pressure on that head coach. It is what it is. When Bucket get out there, when well-off media get out there, it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. You see, they videoing Shedeur. You ain't hardly seen no videos of Joe Flacco. You ain't hardly seen no videos of Kenny Pickett. You ain't hardly seen no videos of Dylan Gabriel. But they put that flyer out there. And you know what that flyer said? Like I said, this whole thing is based off a lie. You ain't seen no video. I'm going to keep saying that. G. Bush, I hope you hear me again this time. They got this dude Flacco down for 2 touchdowns. You ain't seen not one video where he threw 2 touchdowns. I done showed you a video when them balls got batted down. Kenny Pickett. They done ran the whole minicamp. They saying you ain't seen no videos of him throwing no 7 touchdowns. Matter of fact, you haven't seen at least one, but they printed up this tracker, OTA's minicamp and combine stat, and just throwed it out there and ran with it. You ain't seen Dylan Gabriel. Ain't nobody got no video of him throwing no touchdown. Touchdown now. But they say he got 8. One behind Shedeur. We don't seen the 9 touchdowns Shedeur and the 1 interception, the batted ball. We saw that. So they had to get that right. And they probably cheated him on this. They probably cheated him on the completion, and they probably cheated him on the touchdown. But they tried to make it even, like they fair about it. And you see, everybody 1 or 2 below Shedeur. So they won't say he really, really outplayed them. You know, they kept it close. And the talk was that they had more reps than Shedeur. So when you get more reps, you're gonna have less incompletion and 1 or 2 less touchdowns, because they were going up against the number 1 and number 2 defense. See, that's how they painted this OTA QB tracker. This thing ain't right. This a lie. I'm here to tell you, this a made up lie. Another one. What that rapper say? Another one. What that rapper name that say? Another one. This is a lie. This is a lie. See, they had to put Shedeur just a tad little better because the videos out there. The videos out there. See, ain't no videos out there of Kenny Pickett throwing no touchdown and Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco. So they tried to make it look even. They couldn't make it a runaway because Shedeur is they quote unquote 5th round draft pick. So we can't show you that 5th round draft pick is really outplaying these guys right here. And they've been in the league 4 or 5 years more than Shedeur. And Dylan Gabriel was the 3rd round draft pick. So we got to show him a little bit better up there close to Shedeur. Once again, this whole thing is a lie. It's a lie. I promise you, Shedeur number is better than that. And Shedeur know it. That's why he ain't saying nothing. That he know it. He know the coaching staff know. He know the players know. Them players ain't out there talking. Look, if your best 2 defensive back players go on the radio, go on podcasts, go in chats, go in a group and say he looked different than the rest of them, you know his number is better than these right here. If they going out there saying that. If the players on Shedeur team is going out there saying this dude look different than Joe Flacco, different than Kenny Pickett, different than Dylan Gabriel, and then you come back and look at this chart right here that they done made up, you know that's a lie. You know this chart is a lie. You know that. You know that. So once again, regardless of how we feel about it or what somebody done said, something ain't right. Keith Sweat sang a song that says something just ain't right. And I got a question to y'all. What I saw from ESPN Cleveland. Here it is right here. ESPN Cleveland said, do you believe the quarterback who plays the best in training camp and preseason will be the starter week 1 for the Browns? Yes. Best quarterback will start, only 39%. No, agenda takes over 61%. They own fan base already see through the smoke screen. Their own fan base that voted on this seeing the same thing we see. Yeah, they looking at the videos and they looked at that chart and said, hey, something just ain't right. They asked a question. They put up a poll. ESPN Cleveland, one who put that flyer out about that quarterback competition, and asked them a question. Do you believe the quarterback who plays the best in training camp and preseason will be the number 1 starter? And hell, over half of them said, hell no. Because what they promote ain't what we seeing. What Kevin Stefanski, the general manager, and ESPN Cleveland, Mary Kay, Tony Grossman, what y'all report ain't what we seeing. The same thing that the Colorado fan base is saying. Same thing. Same thing. The same thing. You can't trust that. What that rap group said that, you can't trust that. Dong. Flavor Flav them. You can't trust that. You can't trust it. You just can't trust them. Keith Sweat. Something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. But once again, family, once again, y'all could be right. Could it be collusion? Yahoo Sports wrote it up. G. Bush did a show on it. Could it be collusion? Behind Shedeur Sanders. Could it be? Could it be? Public enemy. Yep, that's it. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. They own fan base. They own fans. What that really say about an organization? Man, y'all can't be trusted. Because we know Shedeur is better than Joe Flacco. We know Shedeur is better than Kenny Pickett. We know Shedeur is better than Dylan Gabriel. They said no. Agendas take over. What's the agenda? We got to prove to the owner that the general manager and head coach was right about Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. That's the agenda. And that's what they've been showing through OTAs and minicamp by not letting Shedeur run with the number 1 offense. They say because they didn't want the media to see it. You want the media to see Kenny Pickett. You want the media to see Dylan Gabriel. You want the media to see Joe Flacco. Why you didn't want them to see Shedeur? Why you didn't want them to see Shedeur? Some questions. See, they need to ask. I'm like, what her name? Rizzo. They need to ask the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, why Shedeur didn't run with the number 1 offense. He need to be put to the fire instead of giving us that bogus ass answer he been giving. Don't go by what you see. No, what we supposed to do? Play peekaboo? What we supposed to do? Play peekaboo? I'm talking about don't. Man, look at here. They haven't had a decent quarterback in 20 years. They want to win. They deserve that fan base. Deserves to have a winner. They got to buy them season tickets. They want that number 12 jersey. But they trying to wait to see is he going to start? Is he going to be on the team? That's what they want to know. That's what they want to know. And once again, teammate left.
Brown, man. Great organization. Gave me an opportunity, man. I'm telling you, I'm running with it. You know what I'm saying? I get to play with him, bro. That's a blessing. He's my quarterback. That's a blessing right there, you know.
He said to get to play with him is a blessing. That's my quarterback. That's a blessing to play with him. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. That's what they said. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. Once again, you might not agree with what Ryan Clark said. Ryan Clark, right, y'all. Miss Kimberly Nash Williams. Everybody else going along, but Miss Kimberly Nash Williams. But I'm going to play the video.
Course, your son being a top quarterback prospect in the draft, and you're his coach, but you're his father too. What's the process been like in terms of giving him advice about not paying attention to what everybody's saying about his status?
I don't need to give him advice at this point, man. Come on, he's been bred for this. He's been trained for this. He's a Shedeur Sanders. That comes with ridicule and ignorance and adolescence comes with that. But we're built for this. If it's anybody built for this moment, built to go to a team that's really not good and take it to the next level, it's him. And the two best qualified players to
He just told, Co-Prime told you, anybody in this draft is built for that. It's him. Who is him? Who is him? Shedeur Sanders. He built for it. Here go Ryan Clark. Just in case you missed the opening, here it is. He telling the truth. He telling the truth. What if Kimberly Nash Williams want to agree, but Ryan Clark telling the truth.
Shedeur Sanders is going to be leading dudes that were like you in the league, that were like you, that were like me. At the time, you had kids and were married. I had kids and was married. Chan, you was a grown man that said, I can go in the streets every night and I can come in here and work. If I'm thinking that you're not running your life or you're not running your career, don't come sit in front of my locker because I control this.
Yeah.
Right? I control this. I can't have you and your daddy being our leader. I can't have you and your daddy being our quarterback. And I believe the way that Deion has raised Shedeur is ready to do that. The professionalism, the maturity level, the understanding of the noise always being in his ear, Deion dealt with that his whole life. And he's been prepping this young man to deal with it. It's about to be louder than ever, though. You know how many people happy right now, dog? You know how many people are sitting at their house being like, I told you so. I told you he wasn't that good. I told you he was this. What he got to do, man, internalize that and don't fight it with words. Don't fight it with your attitude. Man, go out there and make plays. And when you do that, don't even look at them and say, I proved you wrong. Do that junk and go hug your pops. Yeah. Do that junk and go dap off the people that have been supporting you because they've been locked up with you all the way. All the people that was in that room. If they ain't the real ones.
Ryan Clark got there putting it down, man. He just putting it down, man. You know, I had to listen to that thing about 3 or 4 times. He won me over. He won me over. He won me over. He won me over. But once again, family, I just want to rock with y'all this morning. You know, I'm always got to listen to what Miss Kimberly Nash Williams is. She tried to get so deep in this thing. The NFL lost a lawsuit last year for colluding against 3 black quarterbacks. They didn't want it to come out because Super Bowl was coming up. The quarterback was Jackson, Wilson, and Mervin. Oh, I gotta check that out. I haven't read in that. Like I said, sometimes y'all be teaching me stuff. Y'all be teaching me stuff. You know, I gotta check that out. I got a funeral to go to at 12, so when I get back home, I'm gonna prep myself. I might do a show on colluding. I gotta see what G. Bush done talked about too. I might give him a call, praying that God will make a way to show the improper treatment of Shedeur and be held accountable for their action by restoring his second round pick and the money he will earn. Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. You never know. God moving in mysterious ways. Cleveland want the quarterback from Clemson next season. Cleveland is going to tank this season. Keith, you know, I've been hearing that too, Cleveland. I've been hearing that too, Keith. Yep. Yeah. But Shedeur gonna stop all that once he hit that field. This whole thing is like an onion. It has layers and it starts to peel and it stanked up, man. It real. It stanked up, man. Real, it messed up, man. It just don't make no sense, real. You know, like I said, all this stuff is in the Bible right now. Y'all, this whole thing is in the Bible. This about Shedeur and Coach Prime and the NFL. Yeah, somebody can write a book on this thing. Deion is smart, knows exactly what he's talking about. That's why he noticed draft that were switching up is sickening. Yeah, Coach Prime know now. If anybody know, he know. If anybody know, Coach Prime know. Yeah. If anybody know. If anybody know, he know. Anybody know, Coach Prime know, family. He know. Yep. Yep. Ryan is right. He's right, Miss Shep. He right. He right on it. He right on it. He right on it. He right on it. The Browns should renegotiate Grohn's contract to clear their action. I don't understand why the Browns did not take Shedeur and Travis. Yeah, they could have had them one. They could have had both of them. It could have turned their whole organization around. That's strange, ain't it? It's mighty strange. Something happened. That's one thing we can say. Something happened. Something happened. Something happened. But BD, what's going on? I ain't been seeing you in a while. What's going on? How you doing today? Appreciate you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Yeah. But once again, like I say, fam, July the 18th through the preseason, we gonna see. Everything gonna show its face. Everything gonna show its face. Everything. I mean everything. Be what? Shiloh and Shedeur going live this weekend. Yeah, they supposed to be going Friday or Saturday. Friday or Saturday. I saw his Twitch. Matter of fact, I think I got it on here. I think I got Shedeur Twitch on here that he said if I ain't take it off. Nah, I ain't got it on here. I posted on my yeah, I dropped a show midnight. Y'all check out my last show. If you haven't, check out the last show that I dropped at midnight, talking about Shiloh and Shedeur. Yeah. 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 I see Shiloh out there doing his thing. You know, Matt Rip Flag.
He is out of the game.
Yeah. Bill, I mean, I know he's.
Why you just say he'll round me up, bro? Yeah, come on, man. You still got it, though.
Hell yeah, man.
You might could beat Coach Prime in a race.
How about a woo for Shiloh?
I got to say that for you. The what? Woo! Dang! That does get loud.
Nature Boy, here. Shiloh.
Woo!
Yeah, Shiloh out there doing his thing, man. She said I went on a cruise. Okay, out to enjoy it. To New York. I never been to New York. I done been a lot of places, but I ain't never been to New York. I got to get there, though. I got to get there. Hope you enjoy yourself. Shedeur is a winner. If they want to tank, they're not playing. Hey, you got that right, sis. That is 100. 100. Right. Wisdom speak. What's going on? Cleveland has no record of developing quarterbacks, so why would they draft another one if they can't develop the one they already have? Hey, boy, you hit that on the head, big dog. You hit that one on the head, man. They ain't got no history of developing one. Ain't got the patience to develop one or don't know how to develop one. You right about that. G. Bush upset and tell the truth about Shedeur. Yeah. I got to check him out. I got to check the whole thing out. I seen what he was talking about, the headline, but I didn't watch the video. Shedeur told Shiloh he need to stop trolling his brother. Yeah, I do. Yeah. If Shedeur don't start, everyone getting fired. Miami, you right. You already know it. You already know it, brother. You already know how that gonna go down. Yep, because the rest of them quarterbacks ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna work out for them. It ain't gonna work out in their favor. Nah, it ain't gonna work out in their favor. Just not. It is not gonna work out in their favor if Shedeur is not up under that center game one. Just ain't. It just ain't. It just ain't. It just ain't. Yep. You're right. You are so right. Well, family, I got to get out of here. I got to get ready to go to this church so I can be down there. I see y'all again later on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I appreciate y'all. Kimberly Nash Williams, go do some work. That's my buddy there. Wayne Hood, hey man, y'all be easy, bro. Y'all be easy. Rep, take care of yourself. BD, don't be no stranger. Don't be no stranger. Sports Talk will be watched. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all later on tonight.
Are you practicing to practice or you practicing to be great?
Which way am I going?
What's coming? You on the way.